If you are over 60 and still waking up every morning feeling dry in your joints, if you're accepting those cracks and pops in your knees or hips as a normal part of getting older, or worse, if you are relying on over-the-counter pain pills thinking they are fixing the problem, then I need you to stop immediately and listen very closely. You see, the idea that our joints simply wear and tear and dry out as we age, and that there's nothing we can do about it except manage the pain, is a lie. A dangerous lie we've been told to believe. Scientists from Harvard Medical School and top health institutions around the world have just released a series of shocking findings that completely change everything we thought we knew about dry joints, arthritis, and cartilage loss. They found that dry joints aren't a matter of simple friction. It is an ongoing process of cellular-level inflammation and nutrient deprivation that is silently eating away at your precious cartilage and drying up your synovial fluid, your body's natural lubricant. And here is the proof. A breakthrough study that followed over 50,000 postmenopausal women for nearly 20 years found that those who consumed a specific group of compounds found in everyday foods had up to a 60% reduction in their risk for rheumatoid arthritis and a dramatic decrease in pain and stiffness symptoms compared to those on traditional diets. In other words, these participants were re-lubricating their joints from the inside out just by eating. But what's the most insane part? The number one food on this list, the one we are going to reveal at the end, has been clinically shown to contain a compound that works exactly like a popular pain reliever, like Ibuprofen, but without the devastating stomach side effects. It acts like a switch to turn off inflammatory enzymes and turn on your body's cartilage repair process. And it is 10 times cheaper than expensive collagen powders or glucosamine supplements, and you probably have it in your kitchen right now. Welcome to Senior Stop, your channel for living your best life after 50. Before we dive into these 5 incredible foods, we want to build our community. Let us know in the comments, how old are you and where in the world are you watching this from? We read and try to respond to every single comment, so drop one down below. Now, let's get started with food number 5. Number 5, berries, specifically blueberries and strawberries. All right, starting with number 5 on our list, berries. I know what you're thinking. Berries? That's dessert. What are they going to do for my aching knees? Most people dismiss berries as sweet, healthy little treat. But for anyone over 60 dealing with joint stiffness, these tiny fruits, especially blueberries and strawberries, are some of the most powerful anti-inflammatory warriors you can eat. Let's look at this. Researchers at the Tufts University Friedman School of Nutrition Science, one of the leading centers for human nutrition, have conducted extensive studies on the link between plant compounds and arthritis. They found that participants, especially older adults, who consumed just 1 cup of berries per day, showed significantly reduced levels of inflammatory markers in their blood, like C-reactive protein, CRP. When your CRP levels go down, so does the pain and swelling in your joints. Another study published in the journal Arthritis and Rheumatology focused on strawberries. They found that women who ate strawberries regularly, just a few times a week, were 14% less likely to have elevated inflammatory markers. That is a significant difference from one simple fruit. So, what is the secret inside these berries? It's not one thing, but a powerful combination of 2 factors. 1. Anthocyanins, the antioxidants. You see that deep blue, purple, and dark red color in blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries? That's from a potent group of antioxidants called anthocyanins. Think of these as your body's personal fire department. When your joints are dry and inflamed, it's because aggressive molecules called free radicals are causing tiny fires at a cellular level. They attack your cartilage and degrade your synovial fluid.
Anthocyanins rush in, neutralize those free radicals, and put out that inflammatory fire, allowing your joints a chance to breathe and heal. The second thing most people don't realize is that berries are loaded with vitamin C. We all think of oranges, but 1 cup of strawberries actually contains nearly 100% of your daily recommended intake of vitamin C. Why is this critical for joints? Vitamin C is essential for collagen synthesis. Collagen is the primary structural protein in your cartilage. It's like the steel rebar inside a concrete building. Without vitamin C, your body cannot produce new collagen. You can drink all the expensive collagen powder you want, but without adequate vitamin C, your body cannot use it to rebuild your joint cartilage. So, how do you get the most out of your berries? It's simple. Aim for 1 full cup of mixed berries per day. The best way? Eat them fresh or frozen. Frozen berries actually retain nearly all of their nutritional value because they are flash frozen right after picking. They're also cheaper and available year-round. Add them to a morning smoothie, sprinkle them on a bowl of oatmeal, or mix them with some plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. More on that later. The warning: stay away from sugary berry jams, juices, or flavored yogurts. They are loaded with sugar, which actually causes inflammation and negates all the benefits. Stick to the whole fruit.
Number 4. Dark leafy greens. Coming in at number 4 is the one your mother always forced you to eat. Dark leafy greens. Specifically, we're talking about the heavy hitters: spinach, kale, and Swiss chard. Most people eat them thinking they're good for their eyes or general health. But if you are over 60 and have joint pain, these are not optional. They are essential. They are your bone and cartilage protectors. A large study in the British Journal of Nutrition followed thousands of older women for years. They found a direct and staggering correlation. Those who consumed the most dark leafy greens had significantly lower risks of hip fractures and maintained far better bone density than those who ate little. But it doesn't stop at the bones. Researchers at the University of East Anglia in the UK identified a specific compound, plentiful in cruciferous vegetables like kale, that can block a key enzyme that causes inflammation and cartilage destruction. It essentially stops the joint destruction process at its source. So what do these greens have that other veggies don't? They are a nutritional powerhouse. But 3 nutrients are exceptionally important for your joints. 1. Vitamin K1. This is the real star. Spinach and kale are among the richest sources of K1 on the planet. We think of vitamin K for blood clotting, but that's a massive undersell. Vitamin K is critical for bone and cartilage health. It acts as a traffic cop for calcium in your body. It helps take calcium out of your blood and bind it into your bones, keeping them strong. It also prevents calcium from depositing in the wrong places, like the soft tissues of your joints, where it can cause bone spurs and pain. 2. Magnesium. Over 50% of older adults are deficient in magnesium. Spinach and Swiss chard are loaded with it. Magnesium is the relaxation mineral. It helps relax over 300 enzymatic reactions in your body, including the muscles surrounding your joints. When your muscles are chronically tight, often from a magnesium deficiency, they pull and put extra stress on your inflamed joints, making the pain worse. 3. Sulforaphane in kale. This is the enzyme blocking compound researchers in the UK found. Sulforaphane, especially high in kale and broccoli, has been shown to slow down the destruction of cartilage in osteoarthritis. It's like hitting the pause button on your joint's aging process.
The goal is at least 1 to 2 cooked cups of dark leafy greens per day. Remember, they shrink down a lot. The best way is lightly cooked. Eating spinach and kale raw is fine, but they contain oxalic acid, which can slightly interfere with calcium absorption. The best method is to lightly sauté them with a bit of, and here's a hint for what's coming, olive oil, or steam them for a few minutes until just tender. Light cooking breaks down the oxalic acid, making the calcium and magnesium more available for your body to absorb. Don't boil them into mush. You'll lose the water-soluble vitamins. Add a huge handful to your morning eggs, make a side of sautéed greens for dinner, or even blend some kale into your smoothie. The sweetness from the berries in number 5 will cover the taste. Quick pause. If you are finding value in this video and learning something new about how your body works, do us one small favor. Hit that gray like button and turn it blue. When you do that, you tell YouTube this is an important message, and they will share it with more seniors who are also suffering in pain needlessly. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. We here at Senior Stop release powerful health secrets just like this every single week, and we don't want you to miss the next one. All right, thank you. Let's get back to number 3, which is a surprising one for a lot of folks. Number 3, nuts and seeds, specifically walnuts, flax, and chia. All right, number 3 is something that so many people over 60, especially from the low-fat diet generation, are still afraid of: nuts. Specifically, walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds. Many seniors avoid nuts because they fear the fat. They think, they're too high in calories, they'll make me gain weight, they're bad for my heart. Let me be crystal clear. Avoiding these nuts is one of the biggest nutritional mistakes you can make for your joint health. The fat in these nuts is exactly the kind of fat your dry joints are crying out for. The Arthritis Foundation officially recommends nuts as part of an anti-inflammatory diet. Why? A large study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who regularly ate nuts had significantly lower levels of inflammatory markers, like CRP and interleukin-6, than those who didn't. When it comes to walnuts, a study from Penn State put overweight participants on a diet that included walnuts every day. After just 6 weeks, they saw significant improvements in inflammatory markers, even when they didn't lose weight. This shows it was the walnuts themselves, not the weight loss, that had the anti-inflammatory effect. The power of these nuts comes from their unique fat profile. 1. Omega-3 fatty acids, the ALA form. Walnuts, flax, and chia are 3 of the richest plant-based sources of alpha-linoleic acid, ALA. ALA is an essential omega-3 fatty acid. Your body uses ALA as a precursor to create the more powerful forms of omega-3s, which we'll cover in number 2. But ALA itself has potent anti-inflammatory properties. It helps balance your omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. Most Americans eat far too many omega-6s, from vegetable oils, processed foods, which are inflammatory. The ALA from these nuts helps cool that fire by providing the anti-inflammatory building blocks. 2. Fiber and gut health. This is critical. Your joint health is intimately linked to your gut health. Nuts and seeds like flax and chia are packed with soluble fiber. This fiber feeds the good bacteria in your gut. When your good bacteria are healthy, they create compounds called short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, which lower inflammation system-wide, including in your joints. Arthritis often begins in an unhealthy gut. These nuts help heal the gut, which in turn helps heal the joints. You don't need to eat the whole bag. A little bit goes a long way. The goal? 1 small handful, about a quarter cup, of walnuts per day, or 2 tablespoons of flax or chia. The best way? Walnuts. Eat them raw. Don't buy the salted, roasted kind. High heat can damage the delicate omega-3 oils. Flaxseed. This is a must. You must grind them. Your body cannot digest whole flax seeds. Buy them whole, put them in a coffee grinder and grind a small batch to last a few days. Store the ground meal in the fridge or freezer. Sprinkle it on your oatmeal, yogurt, or in a smoothie. Chia seeds. These are easier. You can sprinkle them whole on food or soak them in water or almond milk to make a chia pudding.
Number 2, fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines. Coming in at number 2, and this is one of the most potent, underutilized foods in the fight against dry joints, fatty fish. We're talking about salmon, especially wild caught, mackerel, herring, and the king of the small fish, sardines. Most people wrinkle their noses at sardines and they buy cheap, farmed salmon thinking it's all the same. It is not. If nuts are the good anti-inflammatory fat, fatty fish are the perfect fat. This is the protein source 90% of seniors are deficient in, and it could be the difference between walking comfortably and ending up with a cane. The evidence for fatty fish and joint health is undeniable. It's not just a few small studies, we're talking decades of data. A massive meta-analysis from Australia, which combined the results of over 20 clinical trials, concluded that fish oil supplementation, which contains the compounds from fatty fish, significantly reduces joint pain and morning stiffness in patients with rheumatoid arthritis. But you don't need the supplement. Another study found that people who ate fatty fish just twice a week had significantly lower levels of cartilage-destroying enzymes in their bodies than non-fish eaters. If nuts are the good anti-inflammatory fat, fatty fish are the perfect fat. This is the protein source 90% of seniors are deficient in, and it could be the difference between walking comfortably and ending up with a cane. The evidence for fatty fish and joint health is undeniable. It's not just a few small studies, we are talking decades of data. A massive meta-analysis from Australia, which combined the results of over 20 clinical trials, concluded that fish oil supplementation, which contains the compounds from fatty fish, significantly reduces joint pain and morning stiffness in patients with rheumatoid arthritis. But you don't need the supplement. Another study found that people who ate fatty fish just twice a week had significantly lower levels of cartilage-destroying enzymes in their bodies than non-fish eaters. If nuts give us ALA, plant-based omega-3, fatty fish give us the 2 heavy-hitter omega-3s our body can use immediately. 1. EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid, and DHA, docosahexaenoic acid. These are the magic bullets. Your body can convert some ALA from flax into EPA and DHA, but the process is very inefficient. Eating fatty fish is like going straight to the source. EPA is the ultimate anti-inflammatory. It directly blocks inflammatory pathways in your body, like the COX-2 pathways, which are the target of drugs like Celebrex. DHA is critical for cartilage structure and brain function. Together, EPA and DHA act like WD-40 for your joints. They lubricate the cell membranes, making them more flexible and reducing friction. They directly decrease the production of the inflammatory chemicals, cytokines, that are screaming in your joints. 2. Vitamin D and calcium in sardines. Wild-caught salmon is one of the few foods that naturally contains vitamin D. Most seniors are deficient in vitamin D, and without it, your body cannot absorb calcium properly, even if you have vitamin K. And speaking of calcium, sardines. When you eat canned sardines with the bones, you're eating the bones, but they are pressure cooked to be unnoticeably soft. This is one of the most bioavailable sources of calcium on the planet, far better than a chalky supplement. The goal is clear: 2 to 3 servings, about 3 to 4 ounces each, of fatty fish per week. The best way: salmon, always choose wild-caught, such as Alaskan sockeye, if you can. Farm-raised salmon is often fed a diet that makes it higher in inflammatory omega-6s and lower in omega-3s.
Sardines, this is the ultimate budget-friendly powerhouse. Look for sardines packed in olive oil or water, not in soybean oil. Eat the whole can, including the soft bones. That is liquid gold for your joints. Mash them on a piece of whole grain toast or mix them into a salad. Do this, and within a few weeks, you will feel the difference.
Number 1. Extra virgin olive oil. The real kind. And now for the number 1. The food I teased at the beginning of the video. The one that is revolutionizing how we think about the connection between food and pain. It's not some exotic berry from the Amazon. It's not an expensive supplement. It is extra virgin olive oil, or EVOO. But I am not talking about the cheap, clear plastic bottle that's been sitting on your supermarket shelf for 6 months. I am talking about the real, green, peppery, robust stuff. This is not just a cooking oil. This is a liquid medicine, and it may be the most powerful thing you can put in your body to fight dry joints. The famous Predimed study, one of the largest and most prestigious nutrition studies ever conducted, followed thousands of people in Spain. They found that those who consumed the most extra virgin olive oil as part of a Mediterranean diet had dramatically lower risks of inflammatory diseases and cardiovascular events. But let's go deeper. Scientists at the Monell Chemical Senses Center in Philadelphia discovered something astounding. They isolated a compound in extra virgin olive oil and found that it acts in the exact same way as a nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drug, or NSAID. Other studies from the University of Córdoba in Spain have demonstrated that daily EVOO consumption can significantly reduce inflammatory markers in patients with arthritis, sometimes even more effectively than prescription drugs. So what is the magic? Why is EVOO different from canola oil, corn oil, or even light olive oil? The answer is a single compound found only in fresh, unrefined extra virgin olive oil. 1. Oleocanthal. Remember that name. Oleocanthal. This is the shocking compound scientists found. When you taste high-quality extra virgin olive oil, you get a peppery, stinging sensation in the back of your throat. That is the oleocanthal. This compound has been shown to inhibit the COX-1 and COX-2 enzymes in the exact same way ibuprofen works to reduce pain and inflammation. Think about that. Every day you consume EVOO, you are taking a small, natural anti-inflammatory dose that lubricates your joints and soothes pain at its source without the risk of stomach bleeding or cardiovascular issues associated with long-term NSAID use. 2. Monounsaturated fats, or MUFAs. Beyond oleocanthal, the oil itself, mostly oleic acid, is an incredibly healthy monounsaturated fat. It helps lower bad LDL cholesterol, raise good HDL cholesterol, and provides a protective lubricating layer for your cell membranes, keeping everything running smoothly. This is the most important part. 90% of the olive oil on the market does not provide this benefit. How to buy? 1. Always extra virgin. Anything labeled pure, light, or just olive oil is refined and has been stripped of its oleocanthal. 2. Buy in a dark glass bottle or a tin can. Light is the enemy of olive oil. 3. Check for a harvest date or bottling date. You want it as fresh as possible, ideally within the last 18 months. How to use? The goal, 2 to 3 tablespoons per day. Do not cook at high heat. Do not use your good EVOO for deep frying. High heat will destroy the delicate oleocanthal and polyphenols. The best way is raw. Use it as your salad dressing with apple cider vinegar. Drizzle it over your steamed vegetables, like the spinach from number 4. Drizzle it on toast. You can even take a spoonful straight in the morning, as many in the Mediterranean do. Treat this as your daily investment in pain-free joints. So there you have it, the 5 scientifically proven foods to fight joint dryness and reclaim your flexibility. Let's recap quickly. Number 5, Berries, to fight free radicals with anthocyanins. Number 4, dark leafy greens, for the bone and cartilage building vitamin K and magnesium. Number 3, walnuts and flax, for the anti-inflammatory ALA omega-3 fats. Number 2, fatty fish, like sardines, for the powerful lubricating EPA and DHA. And number 1, extra virgin olive oil, for the natural ibuprofen-like compound, Oleocanthal. Remember, joint stiffness, aches, and pops are not an inevitable sentence of old age. They are a sign. They are a sign of chronic inflammation and nutritional deficiency that you have control over. The studies have proven it. The science backs it up. Do not accept pain as part of your life. Start incorporating these foods into your diet today. Pick one. Start small. Maybe it's swapping your cooking oil for EVOO, or having a can of sardines twice a week. Your body is designed to heal. You just have to give it the right tools. Now we want to hear from you. This is the most important part. 1. Which food from this list are you going to try adding to your diet first? 2. Were you avoiding any of these, like sardines or nuts, because you thought they were unhealthy? And do you have any other food secrets that have helped your joint pain? Share your experiences and your wisdom in the comment section below. Your knowledge might be the key that helps someone else in our Seniors Stop community. Thanks for watching. Stay healthy, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.